you talking about?
Yeah.
I think this is just something that is part of your.
Welcome to the live.
It's a busy time.
This is the live original.
Even with power line too.
Yeah, a little different in London.
I didn't even know I got it either.
I heard on the radio.
Want to call the order, the meeting. The pledge of allegiance, we're calling it at 7 o'clock.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, do roll call Supervisor Bogey,
Here.
Clerk Stephanie here, Treasurer Gott, Trustee Mancek, Trustee Trump.
Here.
Need approval of the agenda. Do we need to add?
You guys can think of?
The only thing that I saw on the agenda was the exit signs and the fire extinguisher bids. It was an ad it was combined, so I would do them combined unless you have like just a bid for one or the other. But either way, I mean, you could technically do them together because the ad was together, but that's just. I mean, it's totally up to you guys.
Two separate.
The thing I want to do is maybe on the COVID relief fund. And that report I got under for that, when we do the comeback.
Sure.
I think it'd be a good place so we can make notations. Other than that, we all good?
I motion to approve the agenda with the presented changes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment, 2 minutes. Nothing? Wow. All right, we'll move right along here. Approval of the previous minutes, which I think we all got this ahead of time, we could read them through, pretty sure.
Yep, I
Yeah.
did just want to point out that at the last meeting, when we did the approval of the agenda, there was a change under new business, item number 1. Change of site plan to special use for Getaway Bay. That's why you see that slash and then the caps in bold for taking out site plan and putting in special use, just a notation.
Well, yeah, what else we got to say, but I'm looking at this minute and it's 10 pages long, so I think there's
That's because Stephanie is amazing.
yeah, I agree. I mean, holy man, I read this earlier. Any questions, Olga?
Does there? I make a motion, we accept the meeting from last month.
I second that.
Any questions, Nick, on it, or you good?
No questions.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, we'll go through disbursements. So vendor payments this month were a little heavy, at 81,310.34. just a notation that was, we paid the, $60,159.12, for the fire protection from, the fire department in Milan. So that those checks went out this month. Do also want to, note that we had, those 941s that we had previously discussed. There was some, monthly payments that were not, paid previously, so that's why there's an amount of $8,136.88. So we are all up to date with the IRS, for 941s for our monthly, payments, as well as our 941 quarterly reports. So now I have, the dates in which all of that needs to be paid and submitted. Working on the Michigan, stuff next. You'll also see that Rick Sweet was paid for two, he has two, payments here for the lawn care. One check got lost in the mail, so we had to, Joel helped me void out that other check, and then, we just combined, I think it was May and June's, together, so that's the balance of 5,112. And then you'll also see, Manic Smith Group, that's our planner. There was a February bill that was not paid. So along with, I think it was, May or June's, bill, those were combined for $2,558.50. So you'll see that, and everything else, I think, is, just normal stuff. And then you'll see just the, payroll is $10,357.82, which is, pretty normal for our payroll. So you'll see that in your other report.
Make a motion to accept the disbursements.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh.
We have to do a roll call.
I know, I'm just doing it the other way.
Thank you.
Let me sure nobody's.
Super- Supervisor Bogey,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes, Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Olga,
Yes.
Trustee.
Yes.
Mr. Joel.
Your general fund has 562,840. Tax account is 4899. Fire fund is 194,218. Your road fund is 257,549. She took some money out of code relief fund. It was 159. Now we're down to 125,41 for the COVID. And our CDs are 422,621.
Let's tag on to that real quick. So we got on that COVID relief fund, I did a little report. We did do like the ceiling in here, the drywall, the painting, new electrical, cleaning of the attic, crosstalk culvert on Welch Road, large tree removal in the cemetery, solar blinking stop signs, power washing of the hall, which are coming back to review.
Okay.
Replace the soft pitch on the back from storm damage. So far, we used $38,873 out of the fund, of the COVID fund, which we need to start using. And then we got new projects for money, which were the computers around there, the alarm system we talked about, fire signature, we're gonna talk about that earlier. And the cemetery program, we're gonna talk about that next, but they all need to come out of the COVID fund. That if we don't do that, we're gonna start losing that money, so I think this is about the best way to bring it to everybody's attention what's going on. That's all I have on that. So I make a motion to accept the fund balances.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Building report.
Robert Rosick worked 14 hours in the month of June. He completed 4 inspections. A total of 8 permits were issued, 4 for building and 4 for mechanical. And the building report.
Make a motion to accept the building report.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Assessors report.
I'm reviewing parcels on Carter Road north of Calm, utilizing the aerial GIS mapping and scheduling some field visits. I balanced with the treasurer for July 23 tax roll and signed the warrant. The board review is scheduled for Tuesday, July 18th at 1 o'clock. Currently, there are 2 parcels for review consisting of a 1 veteran exemption and a reversal of an capping. That is not for appeals, it's only for clerical errors and corrections. Residential class ratio, starting ratio is 4620. Last year it was 4720, so I need to bring it up to 50. So we're going to see an increase there, as everybody knows the values are sky high and crazy. Researching and analyzing vacant residential land sales in our township and nearby adjacent townships for comparable sales. I attended a very good class on safety in the field and in the workplace. That was an incredible class. I'd recommend any board member go see it in the public anyway. They talked about workplace shootings that happen, things we don't think that'll happen here, how to react, and it was just an incredible class. So very eye-opening. So looking ahead, I'm going to prepare the clerk statement for millages, lights and drains. We'll look forward to that for the winter tax roll and analyzing agricultural land values.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
I'll make a motion to accept the assessors report.
Sure.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance report. The,
You want to?
no, that's your new job.
Yeah.
What's my new job?
To read the ordinance report. Did you want to read it or?
Ordinance, oh, this guy
Yeah.
here. Okay, Blight enforcement report, June of 2223. I think we're off one, we're too many twos. Too many twos. Received 6 complaints of blight or blight conditions in the month of June. 13460 Wabash, running a business of blight junk cars stacked in the yard. An investigation was conducted and a complaint was found. I made contact with the property owner. After a lengthy conversation, the property owner was given until the end of July to cease any business activities and remove all junk vehicles from the property. Due to the possible oil, transmission fluid, brake fluid, antifreeze on the ground, EPA was notified and a complaint was filed for possible groundwater contamination. EPA complaint number 27543. Received a notice from the EPA that the complaint was forwarded to the state of Michigan on 7/7/23. 9940 Ann Arbor Road, general blight, scrap and junk vehicles. A letter was sent 6/23/23. I received a call from the property owner stating that he was trying to get property clean and removing the non-working vehicles. He was instructed that as long as there was work in progress, there would be no further action. Oh, it's 4 miles, that's his report.
Yeah. Yeah.
10011 Ann Arbor Road, general blight junk cars. Letter was sent on 6/23/23. I received a call from property owner. She stated that they were cleaning up the property, but they scrap stuff had to go to their living expenses. That's what they were living on, the money from the scrap vehicle. I instructed them to clean the grounds and put stuff that they were scrapping in barrels or in the garage or in the building out of sight. She stated that she would and began to clean the property. 10700 and 10708 Ann Arbor Road, general blight junk vehicles. A letter was sent on 6/23/23 addressing the blight. I received a call from the property owner on 10708 Ann Arbor stating that his mother that resided at 10700 Ann Arbor Road had passed away and they are trying to get her property cleaned up for sale. As for 10708, the same caller stated that he will begin to find a way to remove the junk vehicles and clean up his property. I received a call again on 7/5/23 23 from the residents stating that they were working on the issues and that created the blight. I explained that as long as work is being done, it's good, but I would be monitoring the progress. 9,060 Far Road complaint of Canadian thistles creeping into adjoining farm field, overgrown weeds and grass, attempting to contact the owner, but no answer. Left a business card and no call. A letter was sent on 6/28/23 addressing the complaint. However, there is no. That's it.
There's no noxious weed or tall grass ordinance in Milan. He's attempting to gain voluntary compliance of controlling the weeds.
Looks like we got a pattern, cars.
Yeah.
Motion to accept the ordinance report.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Fire department report. So the fire department report, there were 17 incidents for the month of June. Basically, it looks like more motor vehicle accidents than anything else, a couple EMSs. Outside rubbish and trash waste fire. And a swimming rescue down here at the lake. I did notice. So this would be. We're trending up on our fire report, incident 17. Last month, we were 9, and the month before that, we were 11, so we trended up, and I think it's just because of summer months, people are out and about, so. That's all I got on that.
I make a motion to accept the fire report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sheriff report. We had 34 incidents last month, water rescue. Some property damage, hit and skip accidents, missing person. Pretty much a little small, 34 incidents. In May, we had 56, and in April 36, we're trending down for that. That doesn't make any sense, one trends up, one trends down, but just let everybody know what's going on. Fire and sheriff department. I make a motion to accept the sheriff department report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Old business. I think you jump on some of that, later.
Well, so the phones for the stipend, I think, we can probably table that since we got quite a few things to go over tonight. That was just, again, to go over, since we're using our personal cell phones. We are going to get a stipend for that, so maybe we want to table that. So we can, I also want to look at the, now that the building inspector phone has been in use. I want to look at that bill to kind of see what we're saving versus what it's costing, what we're saving, and see, bring up that information so we can make a educated decision on stipends.
Table it. All in favor of tabling? Or we need to make a motion on that?
No,
We can just say-
Just table it.
Yeah, you.
The hall bathroom repair bids.
I think we only got one.
Well, you will.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
you
got
got
it,
two,
we got it.
because I made an error last week.
Yeah.
I forgot to send out the bids.
So we do not have that other.
There you go.
Did you grab it for me? Oh, you're so nice.
You like the paper?
Well, unfortunately, I have to abstain from talking about this or voting on it because it's my deputy's husband who does the contract.
Oh, sure, okay.
Just keep it out of the public eye.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys can discuss it.
All right, so just as a reminder, we did receive a proposal last month, but we had to bring it back because it wasn't on the agenda appropriately. So we got one from Milan Drywall Contracting for $2,345. That's supply labor and materials to frame wall to separate the bathroom and closet, labor materials to hang, finish, and sand drywall on the wall between the bathroom and closet, labor materials to fix soffit in one area on backside of the township hall, Supply labor and materials to cut hole in wall, install new 36-inch standard door for bathroom, not responsible for moving any electric in your way. So that's, again, 2,345, from Milan Drywall, contracting. You guys want to take a look at that one? And then you can also see from ALM, contracting, very nice proposal here, of everything that's included, and his, bid is at 10,300.
A lot more stuff included.
You know, I'm not like the best person to, understand what is needed and what would be a good thought. Want to take a look at that?
Well, this is the one from Milan Drywall has the labor to fix the soffit. On the back side, we already did that.
Oh,
So it's really on 2345,
that's true.
26. That's already been done.
This is doing new lights, new fan, new electrical wire. I don't know if that one.
That one does not include any electrical.
Right, this is definitely not apples for apples, because
Yeah.
he's just
Sure.
put the wall in. He's
This is
actually
doing
moving-
flooring.
He's moving the sink over to the other side, all the wiring, everything.
Yeah, it's got a lot more stuff. in it, Obviously, like standard.
So if we went, like if we went with Milan Drywall, what, we would then have to do a whole nother bid for electrical and stuff like that, just so I can get my brain around it.
Yeah,
Okay.
if there's electrical on the wall, which there probably is, but you're still gonna wanna do the electrical anyway, because you're gonna probably want a light switch.
Sure.
And they're putting a new fan and new lighting on everything.
Yeah, it's got flooring on it. I don't know if that
Right.
in that flooring. This is doing good.
Doing like the whole kit and caboodle.
You should probably just take that one and check off what he does have here. Bid the other stuff another time.
Yeah, this one's just the wall, which. It depends on how deep you wanna go into it, I guess, if you want it. What's that? That was a new floor in the bathroom.
There's got vinyl plate flooring.
Got a question, Amanda?
No, I just wanted to comment that, the Milan drywall, they're literally just placing the wall where that door is.
Right,
This bathroom then will not be ADA compliant, and you have to have an ADA compliant bathroom. Because the wall will be too close.
sure.
That's why the door has to be moved.
Okay.
So I'm giving you that perspective of
Sure.
the law.
Nope, I
you know.
appreciate that. Mhm.
Point of information, I know we're available in contract.
Mhm.
If you have any questions. for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Robert, did you have any thought of anything?
I haven't seen both of them. but
Okay.
Is that one including build, because what I'm hearing, there's no reason to build this wall because it's not gonna be ADA compliant, put the wall up, right?
Well, if you put the wall with the existing 36-inch door, there's not enough space in the bathroom to be ADA compliant.
For the same.
So, yeah, so that the existing door, the existing 36-inch door needs to be reduced inside the 30-inch door. You can still get the voting machine in there and store it in there through that smaller door. But moving that wall over an extra 6 inches or so is gonna give you the space to be ADA compliant. It gives you the 5% inside of that. But that
So
also
say they
requires-
were moving a wall,
Yeah, I believe so. You wanna take a look at it? I knew you came for a good reason tonight.
A 30-inch door, is that ADA compliant?
The 30-inch door is just on the closet,
Oh,
that holds the voting machine. The new door for the bathroom is gonna be 36-inch. And I don't know, I didn't hear on the quote, the other quote, if they included trim or not. or painted, but my quote includes everything trimmed out and painted. And floor, new exhaust fan, all new lighting. The existing switches are exactly where the new door has to be, so obviously there's gonna be electrical involved. All that needs to be demolished. But they're rewired, and you have to put lights, a switch and a light inside the new closet. So there's obviously a lot of electrical that is.
They want a table to eat, more great.
Yeah, you should at least get something comparable. They're not even close to
No,
comparable,
yeah,
so
okay,
it
yeah.
wouldn't be fair to either one.
Sure.
So neither one are close.
Okay, yeah, I think it's appropriate. What do you think, Joel? Okay, fine.
And we should probably,
Can't go from one to the other.
Right.
yeah. If we want to do all of this here,
Mhm.
which this man did, then we should probably just get another one with everything that he's doing and make it easy.
Okay, yeah, we can definitely table it and. Do it again.
Fascia bits.
So this is,
Part of his
Part of it
was,
was the fascia.
yeah,
Yeah, I was on.
that was
Okay.
included.
yours.
It's the,
Yeah,
third
it's on
dog
there.
at the bottom.
I read it.
Oh, okay. So then we have two, bids. So everybody's aware, this is the other fascia, the front instead of the back. We got the back done. Now the storm came and ripped off the front.
It may just have AIL or M,
And, mhm.
take the fascia part off. Cause that's the only thing you got on the outside of the building is the fascia.
Yeah, I threw that in because I know you said you needed it done. I'm not interested in bidding it out by itself. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like my gas to come up with that, but it's, but I could throw it in there.
With Walker Construction, we put a bid out.
Well, no.
For that, we also put car washing and standing handicap ramp on each side of the building and replacing the bad wood on the top railing.
Yeah, but that was supposed to be in here, because we haven't posted for that yet. You're supposed to just do this at fascia. We'll table that too.
Can you tell, can you have Jesse Walker? Put like his name and address on this, I mean, this, it just doesn't look,
Yeah, but say this is his own personal,
yeah, you get,
proposals.
you can buy these online,
Yeah.
blanks. At least his name and address, phone number,
Sure.
in case, somebody would want to say, who is it?
We want to do this,
Yeah.
all painting, all the work, but yeah, he's putting stuff in there. Plus, he's still gonna get us a fascia bid.
No, he doesn't.
It's really hard to get somebody to come out and bid on
Just that.
One piece of.
two pieces of fascia.
Yeah.
If we table this the next month and have them. Maybe get another one for the bathroom, just do it all in one.
Yeah.
Because
okay,
just like
yeah,
you said, he's not gonna send guys out here for,
Right.
I just-
one or two.
I don't know, we got bids from, what's that, Dayton, Ohio, want to come on here with a
Oh, yeah,
contracting company?
yeah,
To put a two pieces of fascia.
Well, patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the plans, the drawings, schematics, nothing to do with two pieces of fascia. If you're from Dayton, I just don't tell them be beneficial, so. All right, on to the fire. So here's a,
exit signs and fire,
what's that?
exit signs and fire.
Yeah,
They're both-
yeah, come found this place is not compliant because that's not lit up. The other one's missing. And we don't have one above that. And we don't have fire extinguishers. We only got two, but they're so far outdated that they're against the law. So we need three fire extinguishers in here.
Your emergency lights in the office, only two of them work.
Really?
You press the tap button and they're supposed to stay lit for 90 minutes. They just they light up and they just get right up. The batteries are shot.
Then,
They all need it.
didn't we just have the inspector come out and?
Yeah, never seen nothing. That was the fire department even inspected them too.
Press the button.
Said he did,
There you
yeah.
go. Average went bad since he tested them.
Good man, you never know. So anyway, we need to get the bids. We got some bids on this. Again, I gotta kind of back up a little bit because my deputy's husband is doing this, so I
Oh,
can't.
okay.
But I do got a question on the Dunning Fire and Safety.
Mhm.
Which comes back to Joel asked about this deionized water mist. Which you can still put out electrical fires with. Cause you said about, just in case someone set one off in the office next door, it just doesn't clean up real well. And yeah,
Right, but you gotta put in what you gotta put in. You know, I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Cause that thing's $349 on its own. I mean, just that, we're regular fire extinguishers look like they're about 92, 95.
Right.
That's kind of all I wanted to bring up on that, but this guy never, he's got emergency exit lights, but it says adding exit with no electrical not included. So, yeah, he's gonna need time for that.
I'll say, and the one from Allen includes wiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the only one that needs the wiring, the others just. talking about.
I think there's wiring right there in that hole. That's what the clock. That's what the clock used to be.
Yeah, I would put it in the ceiling right over the door.
You guys can discuss it, I gotta back up.
So the Dundee fire is just this $637 is just for the equipment.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it looks like not even, no labor.
And the other one. Got the other one, Olga.
You got one?
Yes. You see that.
Once you put them in, Roby, once you put these in, whoever you're doing. That you gotta have a system to inspect and check them once a month.
Yeah, we used to
You
do
got
that.
an issue with, yeah, you know how that is, so,
Wipe them off, you sign
Yeah.
their name, look like they're okay, and take them back up.
Put a new tag on with the correct date.
Yes.
yeah, you'd have to, I mean, anybody can do that, it's just gotta be on a calendar.
I don't know.
So this one here, you're doing it all.
Yeah, that's including the new exit sign here, all the exit signs everywhere else. The two front doors for the office and the hall would not need emergency lights. Because the emergency light from that side would light up all the way out to here. So this would be lit up, back up, but that would be lit up with emergency lights as well. And emergency lights in the hallway, I believe we've got 5 exit signs with emergency lights. There's 2 in the back of the hall here, medium, and then 2 in the back of the office, and there's 1 in the little hallway between the fences.
Okay.
How much was
Um,
his quote for that? Is that on the same quote or is that separate?
that's all.
Oh, okay. Just the fire, just stuff.
Yeah, just everything.
And I don't know about the other fire extinguishers on the other quote, but these are dry chemical ABC. Use about anything.
5 pounders ABC and the one of them is AC.
Yeah, it's for Dundee.
That's a deionized water one, but that's, Joel just made a mention of it,
So these are the same
No,
stuff here.
no,
just
This
the
is- yeah, this is fire, Dundee Fire Safety.
Right, I mean, this is the same work.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is pretty much just equipment though, or the supplies, or this is, he's actually doing all the labor too.
This is really the only thing you can labor on. Putting these up, right? You can just hung on the wall.
Yeah,
Well, for $2,000, you get we're compliant with our fire extinguishers. Everything, so. I make a motion to go accept the ALM contracting bid, get it done.
I don't wanna be a Debbie Downer, but this guy's $637,
I get it, there's no electrical in that one,
no electrical.
yeah.
so your wiring guy is gonna cost you.
Tough, it's tough to.
again, not apples to apples.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you like to wait and get another bid on this? For the electrical too? Or see if Dundee Fire could add the electrical to it, that's gonna be a big one right there when you try to run wires there. You know,
Well, I mean, it's so, the problem is, it's such a disparity, he's $2,000 and this one's $770.
I sort of realize that, but they're not even apples to apples.
Right.
You know,
He's supplying the exit signs and fire extinguishers, something about.
Yeah,
But no, labor.
No labor.
No labor.
You're installing what exit signs even?
All you do is replacing that one.
replace and existing illuminating lights.
So it's nothing on this one.
Adding. No.
With the burner
Oh.
stops.
But it doesn't look like the emergency lights are added into that 637 because.
No,
it's
it's not
639.
100.
Yeah,
yeah,
so it's
109.
$60 a piece.
It's like 746
That's still under $1,000.
or something, but it, the same problems, you don't know what he included that this guy didn't and vice versa. I think when we send out a bid, we should, and maybe he did, I don't know. We should put down items to be bid, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know if you did.
I agree, I think we need to do that.
And then,
I
I mean,
put
instead
the
of to
scope of work in there.
it's
that
the same
I-
to everybody.
Oh, actually, yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah,
I-
posted on Facebook.
Yeah, I
and
did the ad and I
website.
put the scope of work on there.
Yeah,
That all,
So that's
that
where
the
they're getting the
exit signs
scope of
need to
work.
be replaced and the fire extinguishers.
He's replacing fire extinguishers and the lights, but not.
And that's not doing the other side either.
nothing else.
He's got 5.
It's just-
fire extinguishers. or something, you know? 3? Well, I've got 5.
4, 1.
They got
the-
one of the DII thing that. I don't think that was a big deal.
What's your rule or whatever on how many bids you gotta have on some?
I don't think we have to have I don't think there's a minimum.
we accepted on one bid.
Yeah.
bid?
What do you guys think?
So. Should be 3 bids.
We've done a lot of things,
The hard thing is we can,
but if you don't get
Yeah.
three bids, you don't never get anything done.
That's the problem we're at. We can't even outbid on it.
Nobody bids on it, we just stalemate it. Can't believe it.
It's happened a lot.
Again, I want to explain this now.
sure.
Normally, what you do, you would actually advertise for bids like you did.
Mhm.
Put the specs in what people are bidding, is required to be bid. Then you hold a bid opening. Certain time, certain date. Contractors are allowed to show up. You open the bids, prepare the bids. If you pick one, or not. If you bring, then you bring the bid cost here,
Mhm.
after it's been discussed. With the information that you've got. For both. But normally, I mean, again. My normal, we have 5, 6, 7 bids.
Right.
Right.
But out here, we get.
You're only getting 3, 4, 5.
Not even.
It's such small items.
1, 2, I mean, if we get 2, I think
We're
we're.
actually jumping for joy.
Yeah.
It's like a miracle.
3 is like unheard of.
Well, whether it was right or wrong, I know we. Okay, if we've been able to do only one bid, because nobody bids on it.
Well, I know you guys have done in the past where there's been 1 bid and you guys, okay, we're gonna put it back out for bid and it comes back with only 1 bid again.
Actually, I could make an example would be the ditch mowing. What else did we do?
Snowball, right?
Snow plowing, ditch mowing, and no one would come out and bid. Nobody. And I had to call him to send us a bid in. And we had that out for almost 3 months, so.
Well, do we wanna just table the exit signs and the fire extinguishers, touch base with Dundee Fire just to see if. They have somebody that will come in and do, just so we have an apples to apples, or no, they won't, okay.
All right, I didn't discuss that. He said this is all he does himself. It's up to everybody else's responsibility to do the wiring and everything, so.
So is your motion still on the table?
I'd like it to be. Just I don't think $2,000's too bad, I mean. You fish them wires through them walls and up in the attic and down and,
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
So we gotta do a roll call vote,
Mhm.
and I have to abstain.
Yep. All right. Supervisor Brody is abstaining. Clerk Kozar, yes. Treasurer Gatz,
yes.
trustee Mansik,
Yes.
and trustee Strong.
No,
Motion passes.
You want to talk about that? That was entertaining.
All right, so we're looking at
Hold on, what are you, so what are you getting? You're getting
the exit signs and the
Exit
fire
signs.
things. Yeah, those are done. All right, so in your packet, you'll see a lovely pictures of 3 carpet samples. So Mark and I met with the carpet guys just to get a quote for recarpeting the hall here. This would be the hall plus the stairs, if I'm not mistaken, but it would not include the hallway here until the bathroom is completed. So these quotes are just for the hall and the stairs. So they gave us 3 samples pretty much. So the universal was for 2,880. That carpet is like that really, it's almost like this carpet here was very industrial, very thin, just kind of run of the mill. And then you have your price list, which was 3,462, or your casual classic, which was 3,294. Of course, the nicest one that I felt was the price list, which is of course the most expensive. The casual classic was almost a little shaggy, where with the traffic that we have in here, I feel like cleaning wise, it wouldn't be as nice. And of course, there was no samples for them to give us
Yeah.
for everybody to see. But the price list was like right in the middle of the height of the carpet wasn't that tall to where I think when Corey comes in and vacuums, it would be easily cleaned. We do have Lowe's coming out tomorrow to do a measure. Of course, they couldn't get in before our meeting tonight. So I didn't know if we wanted just to approve pending what Lowe's has to say. And if they're cheaper for the same quality of carpet, we can go with them. Or if we just want to go with the carpet guys, or kind of what your guys' thoughts were.
We're back to the 3 bid.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah,
So here we are.
here we are,
We got one.
yeah.
No, we got 2.
We got 2, it's just
Another guy, but, all right, so
Lowe's is
might as
just
well
that.
table this one until next month.
You have a
And then,
second.
the Lowe's is coming tomorrow to do measurement.
What we could do is, which one did you like?
I liked the price list one, that was like right in the middle, of course, at 3,000.
What was this, the strength of the 3 to hold up? What did they say would be the heavier
So,
duty traffic?
so the option, so option 2, which was the price list, is like the middle of the road. Obviously, your cheaper one here is gonna be like this, where it's just very thin, there's not a lot of character to it, it's just very run of the mill. The price list is very similar to what we have in the office. It's that height, it's very easy to clean, it looks nice. That casual classic is just very shaggy.
And what we're planning is getting rid of that walkway there, because we see what the sun did to it, it bakes it. I figure over on the other side, we got a lot more traffic.
Mhm.
We carved the whole thing and just threw down the mat, which we got all clean and it protects the carpet. Our ordinance officer has said we should do like some kind of laminate, but I think it's a safety issue, someone coming outside with snow underneath, walking in here, slipping and falling or sliding down the stairs, so.
Yeah.
And the carpet over there is from 2014, and it looks,
Looks very
it's
nice.
never been clean. In fact, we gotta get on that to get it clean, but
So I mean, with the carpet guys, it does include obviously the carpet rip out and haul, free furniture move, obviously, life install warranty. I don't know what kind of warranty that is. It's not,
manufacturer warranty.
there you go, manufacturer warranty, and then it's power charge.
We had one other bid, but that didn't include carpet, and it was almost $2,600. Natural carpet, that's just him doing all the labor. Us buying the carpet and him putting it all in, so.
And the padding. So I didn't know if we wanted to approve a price and then see what Lowe's is for a similar carpet, or if we want to table it. You want to table it?
Wait for Lowe's to come in, so.
Then we have
But, you know, that was, one was 2,000, now this one's 3,400, so it's just kidding.
Right,
This is all coming out of COVID.
At least two prices.
Yeah. Good news, this is all coming out of COVID money.
And the COVID money, they may come in and audit what you did with COVID money too, so you need a pretty good paper for it. If they see you only had one COVID, they might say that. So, I don't know, I know they audited all the PIP loans and all that stuff, that was, you know.
I agree with that.
okay, so we'll table, till next month.
It'd be nice if it looked about the same as the other one.
Yeah.
I'd say the price list is probably,
That's pretty good.
it's always really only about $600 difference between the universal and prices.
So when Lowe's comes in and does their measurement, tomorrow, they're doing that in the morning. I'll go down and get some samples. Of course, they don't bring samples with them. So I have to go down there and actually pick out some samples. So I'll get samples similar to what the carpet guys is, that way we can make
As
a,
long as you got it compared.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, that would be nice.
Oh, I think we're good on that, so we'll table that.
The carpet guy, you guys know his story?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the carpet guys.
You know his story?
No.
Yeah, you have to research his story.
Oh, gosh,
Oh, boy.
I'm kind of scared.
I believe he lived in the streets.
Oh,
He came from living in the streets.
Really?
doing very well for himself.
He's doing really well.
He does stuff for food banks and stuff in Detroit all the time.
All right.
It's interesting.
Next one is the building department fee schedule. So, last month I had just brought up that the permit fee schedule hadn't really been looked at or updated, for quite a while. It's also not the most, user friendly to me at least. For somebody who owns a house and would want to go get a permit, I really don't know what I'd be buying. So this one is the original. And then the one that has draft on it is the one that, I met with, Mark and Robert, to kind of get Robert's recommendations of kind of what he's seen in the different areas that he's, worked in, and see where we're comparable. Joel did point out, for like new homes, and outbuildings, it says $60 a square foot or $30 a square foot. It's 60 cents a square foot or 30 cents a square foot. We're not expecting somebody to pay $75,000 for a home. So, but on the old one, it does say new homes per square foot is $60. So we went round and round, and Joel, it took him 20 seconds of him saying, well, it's 60 cents. Then I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So, that would be changed. So I didn't know if we had questions for Robert. There's the fencing and ponds down here that, I think we need to kind of look at too, so. But Robert is here if we have any questions.
This is our fees right now.
Yes, that one's our fees right now, and that the draft one is the ones that,
You're
we
looking
worked
at
with,
one.
yeah.
Did these come from another township, or did anybody check?
From everywhere.
From the
Yeah, we did
Did you?
comparables.
Milan, and we looked at York as well.
Actually, some of them.
We might have a different things too.
They're just, it needs to be brought up to date, because it's not really.
Just a note, today at York Township, we had a fence, all they do at York is zoning. And I think it was like $30, but they don't have any inspections or anything on it, so
Okay.
I don't know if you wanna be comparable to that, but that's what they do.
Yeah, 'cause that was one thing that we really didn't have a good recommendation on was, for fencing. That's why there's no.
Yeah, because there's not a building permit, it's actually zoning.
Zoning permit, yeah. And you'll see it's broken up between building department permit fee schedule and then the zoning department permit fee schedule.
Well, all the permits underneath, if you just turn the ones on top, it's 60 cents, 30 cents, and 15 cents. I think it'd be great. And then, like I said, the fencing and stuff, we have to go through the zoning.
I did check.
Yeah, what did they say about ponds?
Nothing under 5. Unless.
The state doesn't want anything to do with anything under 5.
Not, unless it's connected to a stream or a river or so many feet from the lake. So
So the 5 acres or more.
I printed this.
Yeah, but I'll put it on here still that it needs to have state approval.
Anything over?
I'll get you this.
Yeah, that's great.
I think it just brings us back into the 20th century. 21st century technically.
Yeah, there really wasn't too much, too many changes from the old one to the new one. I think it's just piecing it out, so it's a little bit more user friendly. So people kind of know how much to check for. Hopefully that it decreases the amount of phone calls Robert gets of, I'm doing this, how much is my permit gonna be, type of a thing. Did we have any thoughts about fencing, costs for the zoning permit?
What are they doing in New York?
$30?
$30. Good for that. That way, at least you know they're building on your own property.
Fence permit, yeah. Everybody good with 30 for a fence permit?
That would go to the CA grant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody good with the ponds?
I know.
Yes,
There was one reason why we didn't put the price on that, because. The fences in York Township, what's maximum, the biggest lot, there'd be around a 2-acre lot maybe.
Probably. So, yeah, I
If you have a fence on non-ag or residential, that could be,
yeah,
and you're charging $30 for somebody to go actually go out and look at that, walk around that.
that's right.
In London, a zoning permit is $70. And that's for a fence. A fence falls under a zoning permit, which is $70,
Regardless of the
regardless. That's just
$70.
$70 even.
Do you think $70 is more of a? What do we think of $70 for a zoning permit 4 times? I don't think we get a lot of fences around here.
No.
As long as you're within the, what it costs, because I believe the state laws, you can charge permit fees based on your cost. So-
You can't make money, you gotta come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right now, at this point in time, what I've seen since I've been here, this building department has never made a dime in its life, and it's just beating for the
Bleeding.
general.
Right,
Okay.
yeah, it's bleeding.
Anything else that you can see on here? So from what I hear, I'll change new homes from obviously $60 square foot to 60 cents a square foot. Outbuildings, which includes pole barns and garages, goes to 30 cents a square foot. Electrical, mechanical, and plumbing are all $75 per inspection. Demo permits for houses, $250, outbuildings is $85. Zoning department, site plans is $30, land splits, application plus first division is $100, each additional division is $50. Fencing is $70, ponds 0 to 4.99 acres, $350, 5 acres or more, $400, with state approved. Retained fee refunded if completed with 1 year is $1,000. Do we feel that that is still applicable? Okay. Swimming pools below ground is 135, above is 90. Seasonal pools, which are temporary, requires a one-time permit of 75.
What's the retaining fee for $1,000? What's that retaining?
That's about the honest.
Yeah,
But I mean, what is it, what's the wait for? I mean, what's it trigger to go back?
You completing it?
Completely?
Yeah, what reason is because one that's having a problem over right now with a bunch of cons. And they're, if I remember correctly, they're having all kinds of issues over there.
Oh, yeah, because they got sand and everybody in the road is digging a pond over there.
Well, they dig them out until the cash flow stops, and then it costs money to finish and
That's the problem they're having.
proper slopes and seed it, and they don't do that.
Robert, what was, I know we had talked about the retaining fees for the ponds at $1,000. Wasn't there a concern of, you
The
know,
concern I did, we actually started requiring, back when I first started out in 97, we started requiring. Retainers for landscaping in the winter time, make sure the yard was put in the spring and it was gonna be released. It didn't hurt so much contractors, but the homeowners that if they were doing their own work. Put the bond in and the township would cash the check. And then it would take months on end, but the township board meets, to actually get the refund on the check. So what we started doing after that. Was taking the deposit retainer and putting it in the safe and just holding it for the duration of time. And then releasing what was done. If it wasn't done, then we just, then the check would be put in.
okay,
That check really is no good after 90 days.
that's what I was thinking too.
I don't know how we did it. It was certified, or I don't know how.
That would be.
I mean, we did it, but it was.
Probably certified check,
Yeah,
I'd imagine, like a bid bond.
yeah.
Certified check, and it'll sit in the safe when they give it back and you just take it back to the bank.
Yeah,
Like if you just give the check back to me, I just take it back
okay.
and say it wasn't used for its intended purpose.
So, just saying, when you're setting fees, you should really be setting these fees in a resolution. And. So I'm just throwing that out there. It really should be done in a resolution,
Are we able to do a resolution now?
because. Doing a resolution, you need to send it to the attorney.
So my question is then, okay, we're okaying these changes, we're not approving them. If I take them back just for,
To create.
to
the
create it?
Yes, to create the
Okay. So
resolution,
we
send
won't
it to the
approve it,
attorney.
we'll just,
Send it to the attorney.
we're getting
This will be
recommendations,
preliminary.
preliminary.
That sounds like a great idea.
So we good with everything that was just.
Yes.
All right, I'm on the 50-foot cutbacks on the corners. We got some problems in the town that we can't see around corners. The rule is in the ordinance of 50 foot. So 50 foot down on a corner lot one way, 50 foot down the other, you draw a diagonal line to meet the points. That's gotta be clear cut. I went through probably 4 parcels of property that you cannot see around the corner. You're gonna get hit. It's dangerous. Cone Road's actually got maybe about 70 feet down the road. There's a tree that that's why people are getting hit down there. They can't see around that stop sign. So I'm gonna get with the county. They're gonna come up and trim that tree. That's not a big deal. I'm gonna talk about the 50-foot cutback on corners. I don't know if they're going to do it, or if we gotta send it out for. Or. Since it's whoever owns the land, it should be their responsibility to keep that clean. It's an ordinance.
They were mowing the corners yesterday and today.
Yeah.
They mowed the corners on Welch Road. Denison. Roughly 80 or 100 foot or whatever back they mowed it down. And I seen a road grader on Welch Road.
I seen that.
First time I think there's ever been one on that road.
Yeah, what's going on down there?
Well, far away, but it was out there.
Hopefully they'll grade tomorrow, because they're talking a major rainstorm on Saturday. So the county only works 4 days a week now, but they're 10-hour days. So tomorrow's their day off, so hopefully they come. Monday, it looks like we got a little better weather, no grade, chloride. I think they did Welch Road part of it. Now,
Oh, they did all the Welch Road between County Line and Denison. But they only did Fire Road south of Welch. They didn't go
yeah, I don't,
north. I don't know why they put it there. I sent you pictures.
I know, I've seen that. They didn't make any sense.
I thought, well, maybe they'll come back. They ran out or something, but they didn't come back.
So what is, like for the straightaway on Cone? Where there's those trees protruding out, would that be, are you saying that that's? the
That's not a
plant
50-foot
cones?
cutback. That's actually,
Oh, those are just the,
that's a
okay,
33 feet from the middle of the road. That needs to be cut down.
got it, and
So,
that's Monroe County will do that.
yeah, I'll talk to the county, because that's a main road, but on our country roads, there's a couple trees that are hidden, and there's actually a railroad track down here on Cone Road. You'll attest to that. you can't, if you're in a pickup truck, you can't see the train coming.
You stop.
So I went for a ride along Scott Heath last week, and we went down Half Road, Sherman Road, Wells Road. You cannot get a combine down that road at all because of the canopy on the tree. I already sent that to the county, they're just gonna take care of that. They're already gonna take care of that, but I think we need to add on something like the railroad, that's gotta be in a right of way somehow. Because you're a pickup truck, you can stop, you ain't seeing anything. That guy planting roller trees or you cannot see. So these are probably,
Is that somewhat the responsibility of the railroad, didn't they used to?
I don't know, I'm gonna check into that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the road's 33 feet on either side of the center line, but on railroad tracks, I'm gonna have to call the railroad on that. I'm surprised they're even there. I could have sworn they had some pretty big setbacks. So I'd like to check on that, so I just wanted to bring that up more than anything else. And maybe if we have to bid out some of these country roads, we might have to do that, so I'll call the county on that Monday.
I think last year, when we brought that up about, it, Phil said that you call, I don't know if this is right or not, but you call the sheriff's department. And that would be a hazard, driving hazard, and they would be on it.
There you go.
So if you get a chance to, if you don't go get one way with the county, maybe call them and just say, hey, people are gonna get hurt out here. And then they put in a bid or submit something to be done.
I'll tell you what, I'll call the county next week, and if I don't get anything out of them, I'm kind of, I'll get with the sheriff department, see if they can. We'll just, I'll send them an email, we'll talk about it. That's all that is, that's gonna be tabled for a while anyway, till we figure it out.
On the new business?
Yep.
So the first one is the trash pickup for the township hall. So currently we have no trash pickup. So every time Corey empties one of our garbage cans, it gets put into the one little space where our like motherboard and everything for all the computers is, which we learned is a hazard from the fire department. So now it's getting put out in the vestibule, and it's just somebody's responsibility to take it home and throw it in our own personal garbage. So I called Stevens to see about trash pickup. So one toter with a weekly pickup is about $52 a quarter. Two toter weekly is $92 a quarter. And then if we wanted to get into dumpsters, which is a bi-weekly pickup, it ranges, $92, $127 a month. And then there's a delivery charge of the toters and of the dumpsters as well. So I didn't know if we wanted
Is there
to,
one total enough?
I think it probably would
We
be,
don't have enough, the big, so the like.
yes, the 90 gallon, yeah.
That's way,
Yeah.
way more than we would need every,
Yeah.
once a week.
But we are gonna go in the basement and start cleaning it out, going through that, so.
I know, but that,
That'd be a
if you
separate-
get that
we
stuff,
get something.
we got our trash day,
Yeah, we can set that out and, we're not here Monday through Friday, 8 to 5,
Right.
cleaning out the basement or anything like that.
I mean,
so.
you might have 1 or 2 bags of garbage here a week.
And now that we have the shredder toter, that's taking all of our paper
Right.
out of the garbage, so it's decreasing our waste.
So I think you would have, if you did the one. What is that?
Weekly
One
pickup.
toter per
Weekly,
Yeah.
then we could actually. Start getting rid of some of that stuff in the basement.
I agree.
You could start carrying up 1 box a week and then it wouldn't take you very long, Mark. Get that done.
I say we get the one total.
You make a motion?
I make a motion, one total.
Just put that out for bid for the trash cans, there's another garbage company in the area. I'm asking, I don't know.
Technically, this is something you do not have to put out for bid. However,
It's $51 a quarter, so.
Stevens
pretty.
is more expensive than Fairway Disposal.
I called Fairway too, and they were reputable, they were the same.
Really?
Mhm.
Because I've heard that
And-
they're a
and-
lot cheaper.
Yeah, we've used,
Maybe it's because you're further.
yeah, we've used Stevens for our trash pickup,
Oh, I do at home.
yeah, well, for, not for, I do personally, but for the trash days on spring and fall, so I just felt like keeping with them
Yeah,
would be appropriate.
I make a
So
motion, we do the 51.75 a quarter.
I'll second that. We'll do a roll call, Supervisor Bogey,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Gax,
Yes.
Trustee Mansick.
Yes.
And trustees drive.
Yes,
I'd be afraid if you put a dumpster outside,
somebody
it would
did.
be cold.
That's what happened at London, London.
Right?
Although I wouldn't mind, it'd be nice to stop by, but. That's why we have the cameras or running.
We got to, the next thing is the ADA doors. Oh, no, we already did the roll call, all in favor?
I,
I.
I didn't think you had to do
We
that.
roll called,
but you know what? I'm just, we do it for everything else.
that
I'm
was a
just
double.
We're good.
double whammy.
On the ADA handicap doors, gonna pronounce this place is not ADA compliant for American with Disabilities Act. Dundee just did their doors, they were $15,000 a piece.
What kind of door they get, gold?
Yeah.
Getting close.
They got an arm, you push a button and they open up where you can come in. Because it was lately we were dealing with down here and that guy's handicapped, I can't believe he didn't complain
Yeah,
about coming in, 'cause that was tough.
yeah.
I don't like it either, but we don't have a choice. But I think we should send it out for bids,
Mhm,
but it's 15 grand a door, we
The
need
one door,
mhm.
one door, we
And we
need
need
3 of them
three.
done.
Looks nice. It does, it does look nice.
They do. But they're 15 grand a pop, but we use COVID money for it, so it's not really costing us.
But
we
this is
definitely
another
need,
thing you don't need bids for. You can call around, just call the door companies and ask them to send you a quote.
I'll call it, I'll see if I can get this. They said Dundee used Toledo Door and Glass or Toledo Glass. And they took them 6 months to come out.
So you're gonna do that one back there and the front of that one building over there.
2 doors over there and 1 here.
Yeah.
So you got the vestibule, you gotta get in, right, you gotta get in the next door.
Yeah.
So There's
There's
3
over
over
there and one door here.
Over there.
But the good news is, we got COVID money, it doesn't cost us anything, so we can start burning through it like we need to.
I'm the most expensive doors in the area.
Mark, I got a question.
Sure.
When you're talking about that back, I'm just thinking of logistics, being on healthcare provider and stuff, is there enough room? with
For
that
coming out.
Like, you said he struggles getting in
Well,
there.
because the
Is
door
that,
closed on. We
is
had
it also wide enough? I mean.
He comes through it.
Yeah,
I had engineering students follow me in the hospital one day that I was pushing a patient in a wheelchair, and I said, even all those words there, the metal frame going from cancer center to the UH. You rub the frame, just people are larger, wheelchairs are
I
larger.
actually measured it and it's 36, so we're ADA compliant on that, but just to get in and out of it, it's not.
He comes in with his cart,
yeah.
the gentleman from over. at-
Yeah, but it was a
He's got a, doesn't have a standard wheelchair, he has a pretty big apparatus. but
Yeah,
over that
motorized.
corner, I
If
know the ramp goes up that way, I don't know if maybe put the ramp up this way if you're, it would give them more room, but.
Yeah, it's working so far, but again,
That's a good thing just to keep in mind that we might need to look at. Once it's installed, we might need to look at.
Or maybe look at it before, maybe you don't need the ADA door back there, but you need it
Or
here,
build a ramp there.
and you could, and put your ramp here. Because it is a.
I don't think the ramp would work here because of the length. If you see how long that thing is, it's gotta be at a certain,
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, I'm just saying that.
gotta be a certain angle.
I think, I mean,
Yeah,
The approach angle is the problem.
I don't want to argue with my wife, but it's not good. It never ends up good. for me.
gotta go home with her.
I'm just saying. with the-
You're living with her now.
But,
So you guys want to grant the ADA doors, I'll call around, get some bids.
yeah, get another bid and,
Okay, I'll bring it back, we'll table it, but we're working on it, so at least we don't.
yeah,
have no
we can
trouble
get it.
for that.
rolling. As soon as you get a bid, we'll clear out.
Yeah.
Quite a few items.
We got a PA 116 application for 1825 Pack Road.
Trying to figure out. For some reason, I don't know where half, but which one?
You want to bring that up?
Right on,
Ridge.
well, you're headed north on Denison,
see
right before you go to that S curve, it's that.
I'm not really required to see it, so. So you want me to.
Can't picture it.
Yeah, we want to take a look at it.
It's not too far off of.
You
It goes over the ridge, right?
extend it.
Yes, yes, go straight to. South of.
So it runs the same as well.
Yes,
It is 48 years. Don't you take a look at it, I'd rather you did. You know, that's over that part.
Come back to it. man.
Was this, I looked through this today, with, I guess what's our
responsibility.
Yeah, what are we to do here? Because it doesn't look like everything's filled out, but I. I don't.
Well, it looks like
I
we're
look-
supposed to, on page
Okay.
3, that's what we're supposed to fill out if I'm, it says clerk signature there, so. Assuming we have to approve it there.
This guy any other property in PA 116 or no?
Don't think so. He is not in my PA 116 file folder that I found.
Any property owner?
No, he's been there a minute, long time. Yeah, I graduated with his son, and they've lived there as long as I've known.
Oh, it is right off of it. I mean, it's right off of it.
Yes.
On that curve.
Like legitimately farming this property?
I could not, I don't know anything about that.
It has to be, I think, to
Yeah, I
get,
mean, he says
Yeah.
cash crops.
Take a look at it thoroughly, or just check into it as well. I mean, you have a map here.
On next one,
The only thing I don't see is they ask for like.
next one, you've got
Does he?
farm, it's farm. Oh,
You know that guy?
is this the one where you have to get, show that you got $200 an acre on farm income? Or was I reading something else? That's good farm income.
I mean, that definitely protect the farm, because once you put PA 116, I'm pretty sure that's a 30-year deal, isn't it?
He's doing a 10,
99.
it's 10 to 90,
Mhm.
because you sent these to me today, I had to look at.
I just wonder if we're, well, I mean, you need a whatever contract, but once you go into that, that pretty much locks that property up. You can't split it, you can't do anything with a farmland.
Yeah, see, he's doing it right on the top of page 3, it says 10 minimum, 90 maximum years. And he's doing, or wants a 10-year.
See it.
That's right there. Page 3 on the very top.
Oh, 10. What is the number of years with the agreement from 10?
But yeah, the state vets it out and we don't
They
really have
look
to
at it
say.
thoroughly. The only thing I see, I don't see an appraisal here, which typically they ask for a record card. Maybe they're using the valuation statement in lieu of that, so that could probably satisfy it for that, because it does have a value on it. It's that value,
Yes,
so that could be
yeah.
fine. Most recent tax bill. That in here.
The assessment is, I didn't see the bill.
So probably have to print a copy of the tax, but when you still like, put that in there.
Okay.
Got a map of the farm. The reviewing agencies, do you know if we even have a common planning commission anymore? Does anybody know? It is all,
Yeah, we don't have it.
so you wouldn't, I don't know.
But I know some things have to be sent to the county commissioner.
That's
So
probably
that might be something you want to check into.
Table that.
to see if we're required to send it to the county or regional planning commission.
Might make a decision on something, a big error.
This is tabled until we hear back, right? Hear
Um,
from the state.
Well, I think, do we have to approve it, then it gets sent to the state? Is that how that works?
You could prove it contingent upon making sure all the checklists are fine, or
Yeah.
come back after they're, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Table sheets, you can look at it Monday, and just, you know, this is
Yeah.
probably the first one you guys have done.
All right, we'll table that.
Just
If
follow
everybody's
it.
good, Joel, will you guys good with that?
Right here.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to stable that.
Says had to have a minimum gross annual income of $200 per acre. He's got to show that.
Is.
Oh,
Next go in.
I don't know if that's something you have to verify, that the state will verify.
They
the income,
verify.
that stuff.
yeah, but it's not even
It's not-
filled out.
There's no check. No, he, like I said, he don't have a lot of stuff.
Okay.
I don't know why, but, the state
So,
will say yes.
I can come in on Monday and we can
Yeah, we
take a
can
look
go
at
over
it.
that.
Okay. All right.
On to the next one, we got dangerous building ordinance.
Not sure if you just want to table this since it's already 8:15, but totally up to you guys.
Which one?
The dangerous
Ordinance?
building ordinance.
What's that about?
Is this what we have now, or is this a?
This is a direct. This is what Tim Duby, I think, actually gave us, because he is Well, I don't know, it's got, oh, I think it's one that he gave to Phil and the board previously, because it has their names on the back here.
They didn't do anything with it yet.
Yeah, I don't think they, were able to.
This is two thousand
Approve it.
eighteen.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we would have to.
You know what we could do?
Mhm.
You could take this and send it over to our, commissions, they're both of them.
I think that'd be a great idea.
This is not a
Okay,
plan,
excellent to do.
this is not a planning commission.
No.
This is a standalone ordinance that only the board.
They review it though.
They could review it, but this is technically a standalone ordinance. So it doesn't, it's not any part of the zoning ordinance.
So what is a dangerous building ordinance, other than if I have a building on my property, looks like it's falling down? You can come and tell me I gotta fix it or tear it down, is that it?
Pretty much.
I think we had, the reason this brought up, and Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, is that there was a abandoned house that we were getting complaints about, that it was being used for nefarious things. And people wanted it to be condemned. If I'm not
Yeah.
speaking out of turn.
There's no electric to this house, there's no,
So we didn't have an ordinance based on if this was a dangerous, like we had nothing. I don't want to say we didn't have a leg to stand on, but moving forward with it, we didn't have something in place to mark it as a dangerous building. If I'm
Yeah.
not speaking out of turn.
no,
I think that's
yeah.
kind of where this even kind of resurrected from. So I think we just kind of wanted, and Tim, I think, had said. He had brought it forward before, but it,
It died.
yeah, it wasn't something that was high on the priority list at that point, so.
Well, this copy that I have, every other page is missing.
What?
Are you looking on the back side?
Oh, so is mine.
Well, that's nice, thanks, Pam.
Well, you don't get every page. You gotta read.
Yeah.
You have the page? Still?
Yeah.
Oh, fine. So.
I don't got every page. They left it out in the cold.
Can we just table this whole meeting?
Yeah.
We just table the whole thing,
It's all right.
this,
You were fine.
Should we send that to, you think maybe we should send John to look over and make sure that it looks like it's order with Tim?
Again, you can,
I think
but it's. I'd have to look up to see if there's anything improper, but I don't think there is.
my only concern with that is, I would really like the PC to focus on solar. and,
That's
you know,
kind of my thing.
That's
They have
their-
a lot.
they have a lot on
Already.
I agree.
This is a standalone ordinance and it's up to you guys anyway.
And I don't think it's something that's super pressing. I think it was just something that was brought to our attention and.
Well, let's do it next month with all the paperwork.
And your
We'll give.
building inspector,
Yeah.
your building inspector has the authority to call it eminent danger.
Yeah.
Right, but I think the ordinance officer was working on that.
Yeah.
It's just one way to get dangerous homes out of our area. We got a couple of them. We need to get rid of them. It's a fact.
And then did you want to talk about the cemetery software?
Cemetery software, we hand it over to somebody else to talk about.
Well, I have information here, actually, if you guys would want to see this.
I don't remember one thing, our cemeteries are a disaster right now. I went through and I spent 3 days seeing if we could bury somebody in the Azalea cemetery because the records are. They're not good. The White Cemetery, the new part's actually a lot better, but we're still kind of
Is that a-
lacking in that department.
Is that some kind of sign or what? Give me this.
Removal of the
I
tree.
feel real good right now.
What's that?
It's a book,
Removal of the tree and azalea was,
Yeah. That
it's a
took,
book that I
I
received
don't know how
about
close to get that
the software.
Oh, I was saying, that's not the book that we paid $34 for at the workshop, right?
No, and actually, I forgot that book.
I was like,
No, actually, the one that we paid $30 for is just a little smaller than this and like that. thick.
Okay.
I don't feel good looking at
But,
the.
but that particular software, in fact, I don't even, I remember looking through the book, I can't remember if it showed a picture. Of like what it looked like you could literally see. Where every casket is, where the headstones are in this digital software. And looking at the, the wonderful desk that Mark was sitting at with all of the old cemetery books just everywhere. Opened and opened and opened, and just very old books. Digital is the way to go. And this way you can keep better track. You don't have to go flipping through pages. You know, trying to find somebody, you can search very easily by name, date, plot number. I mean,
And you can sell plots through that software too, correct?
I'm pretty sure you can.
Yeah, it's because after looking at what I looked at, I mean, it was mind blowing. And our few cemeteries, you got a couple little errors on it. We got-
Is there a lot of work needed for what's there now?
So
What about
getting
the guy
that
that was here?
information that you sifted through into this program is going to be a monumental project probably also. And
Not
who
as-
will do that?
I will do that, and most of my time will be free, because
Actually, we're want to put together.
it's,
We want to put together a cemetery committee and.
Well, yeah.
A shared venture.
The guy that was here. he
Well,
might have something
mhm.
too.
No, he wants involved in it too, yes.
Regardless of if we do the software or not, we have to do some type of program, whether it's an Excel program or something that's like this. It's going to be a monumental project either way. There's a lot of records and a lot of, that's monumental.
that is what it looks like. In the program, and I think it looks amazing. You can see cremations, everything.
Yeah, oh, it's pretty slick.
It truly is.
I don't think it would hurt to get some more information of, like, get a quote.
They do ground
If
penetrating
if you
radar.
want, I'll contact them and try and get a little bit more information from them.
They do-
I didn't expect you guys to make a decision
Did
tonight.
they do
No.
ground penetrating radar, find all that? Is that what they do?
I'm not sure if this particular company does, but they did mention that. They did mention that in the course. So. Well, this is.
I think it would be something that can be looked into. I don't know how much it would cost.
I have a cost on that.
It wasn't in that book. It has a
No,
QR code.
no.
How much it is, it's spit it out.
Okay, no, I'm trying to remember, because there's a startup cost and then there is a cost that, you pay yearly. And that it's a subscription essentially.
Okay.
I want to say the startup cost was around 5,000 or so. But they said that it all depends because you can send all of the information to them and have them do it, enter all of the information, or you can do that on your own, which obviously is a huge difference in cost.
I think a good idea would be do it in the house because we can jump in the car and drive over to the cemetery and say, yep, that's right. And then go back here and keep typing away. And honestly, this all bears about her and Renee went to a cemetery conference.
Yeah.
In June. And it basically, it falls back to how many graves we got left to sell in our township. Because Azalea said it's full. That's not even full. There's no way it's full. There's so many empty spots, and that's what we need to go out there and actually probe and find out what's going on. That's the important part. Because we got a burial right now that this guy bought a lot, but we can't bury him in it because it's full. Because they got a sister who was buried there, who was unknown if they got buried there. Well, now they're in limbo. Unless they do a cremation. Plus, how many people have moved away from the township that were getting up in age and went to Florida and moved, lived and passed away. And got buried in Florida, but they own lots here. After 100 years, them lots actually revert back to our township. And can be technically resold. I'm not doing it to make money, and I'm trying to do it to fill up our cemeteries, and people want to be buried in Azalea. Spalding's wide open. I talked to, what was his name? Andrew, about Spalding, and Spalding is a little tricky to get back to, but there is a large area to turn around in, and he goes, that's because back in the 1800s, They had teams of horses carrying the casket around and they had to turn around. So all that's available. You know, and the last person buried there was over 100 years ago, and we're paying to mow a cemetery and take care of it. And now we gotta put a flagpole up because the other one broke. So we're paying for things. We could possibly sell lots and keep the cost down. So that's kind of where we're at.
I think anytime you can put it on the computer and make it easier for the
Yes.
people working, because. Just like we're not up here for, might only be here for 4 years, and then the next person takes over, they're gonna go, it's like you, where they got 15 books out there, you know?
And that's what I'm dealing with right now. Is I got all these books all different people who sign everything, and it is very confusing. So I think it needs to be put on a computer to the fingertip and let it go.
Right.
I do want a little public comment on that. You raise your hand, so go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a question of, and then I'm down here at the Rice Cemetery. In the back by the disabled, there's a bunch of junk that needs to be either hauled away or burnt. And I'm wondering who takes care of that part of it.
We have to sub that out, believe it or not.
No,
You
the
guys-
sexton should take care of that. It should be part of the sexton's duties.
Well, that's what I wanted to bring up too and talk about, because the only thing I'm getting out of Sexton is that they basically dig a hole and put you in it, cover you up and have a nice day.
Did your kids clean that one, Rice up in the back, behind the gazebo?
We did go back,
Just brush left, right?
yes, there was just brush left, so that has to be new.
That and there's some stone, somebody. dumped some
Because
stone
we
in there.
did go in the back and they got a bunch of Christmas decorations that were in the back.
Oh, that's what
And
I'm
then-
talking about, it's Christmas decorations and there was a big pile
Yeah.
of stuff.
We had a guy
It-
burning that last year, that was cleaning all that, the back wall up, he pulled it all out, we burned it. Which we probably could do it again,
We have to wait on that, because I think there's a burn on it.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
I think the debris out of it, it's just trees
Yeah.
and limbs and stuff.
right.
Which we gotta go back through there and clean it up anyway, because we got a bunch of limbs down from the last storm, so.
well, I mean, the kids and I can go over there and we can work something out and get it taken care
And then we got another little issue going on with the Azalea Cemetery that we just buried somebody over there and they're in the wrong spot. They're actually in the right spot, but they're over too far one way. So,
But that guy next to the cemetery, is there you talking to me, Mark, about the fence?
no,
I was over there running across them the other day, going to speak to you about the fence.
in Azalea or Rice?
The-
Because Rice was dealing with an accident that Manny can't get the police report on it because there must be some
So-
investigation going on.
of. Still the extension,
Yes,
yes.
they extended it because I think there's an investigation going on whoever hit that fence and left their truck and.
There's tree damage on the fence over here.
Oh, is there? I'll drive over and take a look at it. I just spread a bunch of gravel over there.
I seen that.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
All right, so for the software, do we want to get a quote, get some more information on it and bring it back and make a decision at that time?
Yeah, because I want Amanda, Renee and Olga, if you don't mind, to jump on it and kind of look it over. That
Okay.
could be a good idea.
How long ago was this fence damaged?
What's that?
At Rice, the fence damage.
That was in May? April or May. I think it was May.
I seen a truck up against it.
Oh, yeah, they called the truck.
Yeah, sheriff was there.
They will not give us information.
They won't say.
Police were there actually,
You're right, Hill State, yep,
and they won't give us information on it.
because I passed them.
Because I think whoever drove it did it, took off. And so it's under investigation, so. And that's probably why they're not giving us a police report number, so we can't fix the fence.
It was May 25th.
Maybe, yep. Yeah, just before Memorial Day. Weekend
Yeah.
before.
Because it was up against the fence smashed
Oh, yeah.
and there was a state
The
tree.
tree looking too good either, it got smoked.
But I didn't see another person, so maybe the guy did run
All right.
or gal.
With the cemetery stuff too, with the programs and stuff, just like Karen's assessing. You know, she can look from the sky and measure your house. So when you're doing the cemetery thing, I'm sure you can, they'll be looking over and you'll know exactly where everything is at that time. And then once you get it straight, it'll be straight for
Right.
It's like having this, because we've been doing this since I've been sitting here, not putting people in the right place and, of course, you don't know who's where. It does go back to, we're talking 1800s people,
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, yeah.
So like, that's all.
and then the stones get lost or they get covered up and then you don't really know if somebody's there.
It all stems back to the good record keeping, and I think if we can get good record keeping.
Card
it will
files are
help.
gone.
Right,
So that's like this deal we're doing, this burial out here, but she just got buried. He wanted her in front of his mother. So they pinned mom where she's buried her right there, and he goes, that's a problem. He says, that's over too far. And after I did the measurements, yeah, she is over too far, but she's in line with mom, so either they buried the sister too far this way, or all the parents are buried too far the other way. So there's not enough room for him and his son to be buried there when the time comes. So. Yeah, it's really entertaining, so that's where I've been spending all this time on the books, looking for who's buried what, where, who owns property, and it's just, you're digging an old record from 1911, and then we got another person who's needing a grave, which I think is out of luck. Because they buried his sister there, and nobody told anybody. So I'm looking for records for that, so it's entertaining, we need to get updated. That's just a lot of aggravation, but it happens, so we're working on it. So we'll table that. Again, Amanda, Renee, and Olga, I want you guys to look into that, please. Let's get a cost on it, bring it to it. I think we're gonna do it. I think we got COVID money to use, it's a good time to use it. Not costing the township a dime. Oh, now we're to the board comments. I got a list. So the stop signs were installed down on Cole Road in Denison, and they work intermittently. Come to find out, there's a special cable in the program, and they don't have it, so they had ordered it. So depending on the speed you come up to the stop signs, they work, and then they don't. So, they're actually, the county's coming up with that, gonna get that fixed. The mowing contract, I talked to. What is it, outdoor services?
unrestricted.
Unrestricted outdoor services, they started mowing this week, they're actually doing a good job, they did come up with some issues where there's some trees in the ditch. Which may require additional work for them to do, or we call it county, and that may be county responsibility. I'm gonna try with the county first. Back to the stop signs on, hang on. Back to the stop signs on Home Road. Joel, you seen what happened the other day when you come home? Would you like to bring that up?
You want me to tell them?
Yeah, I think it'd be great.
So going home, Sunday? And about 100 yards, and I'm gonna say almost 1,000 feet to the stop sign. And here comes the sheriff, Monroe County, southbound. Didn't even stop, didn't even think about stopping for the stop sign. So, yeah, they're not even stopping.
Well, we're gonna.
I don't care if it's flashing or. Need to stop.
Especially if it's light work.
Lights were not. And I thought about calling, but I didn't.
Sure.
I still think we should probably call them.
I'm gonna have to check with sheriff over that one. So anyway, and the other thing is too with the lights, if they're not working intermittently, just because they need to reprogram them. Me and my wife were just up north, and there is a bad intersection up there where a whole bunch of people have been killed. And they put in flashing stop signs, and that didn't work. So they come back 400 feet and put in flashing yellow lights, letting you know you need to stop up here. And then they run grooves in the pavement. So it hits like a rumble strip, then you see the light and then you stop, so.
There's a rumble strips on Clinton Macon Road.
Oh, is there?
Highway, that makes you wake up and stop.
And Dixon and Wells Road too.
So then I made another little small issue, when we ordered those stop signs, like this one, I told her to put a sign below it says cross traffic does not stop. And I did, so they're giving us a price on that, we're gonna add that on.
There's some sign if you go to Rogers Highway, past the apple orchard, the
Sutton
first
Road.
road, Sutton Road, okay. They have double flashing signs, one on each side of the road. They got the sign back about 100 yards or whatever that stop. They got the cross vehicles do not stop. If you want to, and I think they put the rumble strips. If you want to see what they did, I think they did everything.
I haven't seen rumble strips there. I was just down that way,
They didn't have the strips in there.
but everything else, yeah.
I think
They had a
so.
lot of stuff.
I think since stop signs just aren't working correctly yet, we'll
Well, I,
get that fixed.
but I got bids out there for the counties to see what it's gonna cost us.
But no matter what we put at these corners, if people aren't gonna stop, they aren't gonna stop, they don't care what you got.
Right.
You can rumble them, you can practically shoot something in their car.
It'll
They're not gonna stop.
it'll take one fatality to make that a four-way.
Oh,
What
yeah.
was that?
It'll take a one fatality. to make
Oh,
that a
I'm
four-way.
not saying it's not, Jennison and Milwaukee.
Yeah, oh, that was a bad one too, yeah.
You know, it's, there's, people are just.
Right. They want to do that one.
It's ridiculous.
It's too long of a strip without any stop signs or anything.
Yeah, I
And
just,
some roads,
Now,
I watch cars, they have no intention of stopping really, but they slow down and they pull out. And by the time they realize there's a car coming on Rogers, it's too late, they're hit. But they intend to roll to stop.
right.
Well, you can't do that.
Well, the only good thing to say about signs, they are working intermittently, and it depends on how fast you come up the sign. If you come up fast, they work. If you come up slow, they don't work. But the good thing is, I talked to your dad, and he said, the first day they're put in, he said, I heard all kinds of squealing tires and stopping, and so. Maybe it's breaking a bell with somebody, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, whatever.
I think it comes back to your 50-foot rule, and it's like down here, is you can't see
Right,
westbound.
I agree.
yeah, you can,
Or south, because that creek, it's just coming right out of the trees.
so I'm gonna have a little chat with the county on that. Oh, God, stop signs. Okay. I think that's what all I have.
You had the tire thing you put in here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Tires, I
that's
think.
actually, that's gonna be on hold just for a minute because London Township, go ahead, man, tell them on that.
They're actually getting ready to, the state is getting ready to open up to receive the grants to get a grant for tire collection. For the next cleanup day, but it'll be 2024, okay? So they're gonna be opening that up soon. Mark and I were gonna get together, probably consult with other people, because that's the way I am. It's like, here, read this, make sure it's good. But kind of collaborate to try and get a grant for tires. That way the residents can get rid of tires, next year at Plant Day.
Instead of my neighbor's yard down the road.
The Monroe County Health Department, this letter or email says they got room for about 200 tires in a trailer they have there now. But it says you have to load and unload and lace the tires in yourself. So I don't know what that means, but we don't have lacers here.
I think you got three room.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I will say.
They lace them, they stack them like.
The county normally only takes tires off the rim. So, I mean, yeah, if anybody has tires, contact the county. To see if, they have more room, you can get rid of them, but they normally do have to be.
This says before July 19th.
Before
If
July.
anybody wants to get rid of tires.
Okay.
But
so
I don't know what they say, you gotta lace them in yourself, so that I would be cautious.
I'm not sure why they use that terminology, but
Because when they put them in a trailer, a tire person stacks them in there and they stack them like this in the hole. So they get
yeah.
like twice as many tires in a trailer,
right.
but I don't
It's a
think
pain in the
anybody here
butt.
knows how to lace tires in a trailer, including myself. I mean, I've seen them, but
Right.
it says you have to lace them in yourself. However, it is a letter here I read, so I figured I'd say I read it.
And you.
All right, so power washing to the building was done on the 27th of June. They didn't do the best of jobs, so Mark just told me that they are redoing that. So I'm not sure when they're gonna be coming back out to do that. Walker Construction fixed the back of the building in June. So that is completed, and the computers had been ordered, but now I hear that they are in. So we'll be working with Chris to get those set up. And then I have a meeting with BSNA, which is our computer system, to talk about the transition to the cloud, which is what we had talked about last month. That's gonna cost like $25,000. So I will get more information at that meeting, and bring that back. It's
That
out.
will actually include the building department though.
Yes, I will include the building department, which is, we need that, but it sounds like it's still almost 2 years out. But we need to get on that waiting list, because it sounds like it's non-negotiable, so. That is all for me.
I gotta go back and work with, last week, or last meeting, we had a bunch of questions asked at the end. Someone asked, one resident about how the mowing can be done twice a year. I think there's a cost factor built into that, but we can look into that. I can't believe that. Nice job on the notes. Oh. And the trash deal. Amanda was talking about that, which we just talked about again tonight. This is questions from residents from last month about the tires.
Oh,
Yeah. And the last thing was, and I'll let her talk about that. That's it. I want to go on to the treasure.
You got,
I'm done. I'm done.
of course, everybody got their taxes. If you didn't get one, let me know, I'll get it to you. Deferment deadline by 9/14,
I didn't see one.
and that's all I got.
I didn't see a tax bill.
you haven't seen one yet?
If you didn't get one,
Then are we exempt?
come see
Yeah.
me. Read the fine print, you're still responsible for your taxes, unless it goes to your mortgage company. Yes, sir.
I received mine, by the way. But I thought that at your last meeting, you said that you're going to include a note in the tax bills to have people put their emails or register their emails with the township so that they could receive newsletters.
That we did not put in either.
No, what was
We
it?
did, we
What's
did,
it in there?
no,
I remember you guys talking about it
Yeah,
at your last meeting.
I think it was like you were in the,
I think he's already processed.
yeah, you were right in the crunch time at that. I don't think you
Yeah.
had
So we
time.
talked about, yeah, we talked about the garbage, trash pickup day to be on there, and then, yeah, you're right. But I think you were already. So,
Yeah, I thought you guys said you were just talking about costs and doing a postcard for the emails to be sent in. Instead, since you're already doing. Yeah.
well, that's what we're trying to get everybody involved in, because a lot of people don't know about it. But we're still getting a lot of people that don't have any clue about the meeting or what's going on here, and then Amanda just did a bunch of work, which I'll let her explain that at the end too. Let's move, Mr. Straw, you have anything?
Yeah, the planning commission has completed their first review of the new zoning document for the ordinance. And we'll be starting next month on detailing from front to back of it again.
For solar.
For solar, yes. And Corrigan, they're still having issues with the drainage over here. Not that they don't have issues with drainage. They're trying to get approval on where they can drain for the trailers that they want to park. They got to put new drainage in. There's nowhere to go with the drainage, so that's really got it like slowed down to a crawl by Corrigan, not by anybody else. They said it's a 1/4 mile ditch they got to dig to get to the closest drain. So they're having some issues there. And then the last thing's Columbia Township. I got a letter. I got a place over in Columbia Township, and I got a letter in the mail from Columbia Township asking opinion on 2 different things they're putting in. One is, do you want anything with the marijuana ordinance? And the other one, I don't remember, it wasn't big. They weren't big items, but they sent a letter that they are looking at putting an ordinance in for these two items, and are you for it, against it, or what's your we'd like your point of view. And they don't know me, so,
Go ahead and do that.
but, yeah, so they. I mean, I thought it was good. It was, must be two hot topics. I just got cottage, and I don't live in, so. The letter I thought was pretty good idea.
On to trustee Benson. What? Nothing.
Lot to fine staff over there.
Oh, it was very quick to say nothing. Like, I don't want to. You go first. Okay. I called Monroe Evening News yesterday and left a message. I did not hear back from them for a quote on how much publications would be. So I emailed them today, but it was after hours. So, hopefully I get an email back and then we can see how much that costs for next meeting.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else?
No.
Nope, that's it. Amanda?
Right, so I'm just gonna read my, deputy's report. During the month of June, I worked on the back end of the website, trying to update and correct some items throughout. However, there's still a lot of work to be done because there are many links that simply do not work or lead to an error page. I've been trying to comb through, but I know I will not be able to find everything. Thankfully, I have had some residents give me a list of links that don't work, and I ask anyone. If you come across a broken link or just something that isn't right. Please send me an email or send me a text or call me or whatever. My information's on the website. I also attended the cemetery management conference. It sounds kind of morbid, but I really enjoyed it because I learned a lot. I didn't really realize how much is involved with cemeteries. And so it was very eye-opening for me. It gave me a lot of ideas of how to improve the township cemeteries in many ways, because they supply multiple different options to keep building your cemetery and even doing like memorials, like benches, things like that. So just so many options are out there, and I think the township cemeteries would look great at implementing some of these ideas. As Supervisor Bogey mentioned, he wants to put a cemetery advisory committee together. So that way all of the weight doesn't fall on the clerk, because normally the clerk is in charge of cemeteries. So I think having the advisory board will do great. That will consist of 1 or 2 board members. Any like office staff that might be involved, like me and Renee, because we went to the conference, and residents. So, I mean, if you are at all interested in possibly, becoming a part of that, get in touch with supervisor or clerk or somebody, and, definitely let them know. Yes, right now I am looking into how to form the committee, want to make sure that all the laws are followed. Just want to be sure that all our ducks are in a row, and please remember, this is an advisory committee. This committee does not make any decisions. They just advise to the board of what they feel, what they think would be good for particular cemetery. I also tended to various other tasks, such as posting notices on the website, Facebook. I updated all of the Facebook contact information in the About Me section. So if you go there, you'll see everybody's phone numbers and emails. I believe the emails are on there. If not, I will put them on there. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
I did have one other thing. Jenna has been working on, updating all of our permits. So, Dave Friend's name is off of them and, Robert's name is on them. And then getting them updated on the website as well.
Yes.
So they look, so thank you for doing that. It's a huge task.
Yes, no, I agree. Public comment for 5 minutes. Mr. Tim.
You get a lot more truck traffic coming down Old Road from that sand or the pond over there that they're putting over on Plank Road. A lot more semis and stuff. Is there any possibility from Azalea to the corner, we could enforce a no Jake brake sign? I mean, you got close to a dozen houses right between Azalea and the corner, and a couple on the other side on Cooper. That noise is just kind of with all the traffic now. I think no Jake brake sign.
And that's coming from, that sand pit on Plank Road.
Yep.
Well, Okie and Plank, right? Yep.
Wait, which way are they taking?
They're coming down Ostrander to get on 23 instead of going Plank Road.
Yeah.
That, I don't believe that's part of the haul route.
I don't think it is either.
You should call it MCRC because the haul route, from my understanding, is Plank Road all the way down to 23.
Well,
That was the last that I know that was approved by the London Township. Board.
well, you have those and you have other trucks. I'm just asking to get a no Jake brake sign put there, just keep the noise down as far as. I don't think we'll hurt anything. They come out of Azalea where it's 35 and they think they're gonna pick up speed and get back to the corner. And then they realize there's a corner right there and
I'll call county on that. I'll let you know what happens. We'll see what they got to say. And I'll have Amanda look into the no haul deal.
I know a lot of these small towns have no Jake brake ordinance.
Yeah. They do in Ohio.
We got quite a few around
They
there.
got a lot of them.
They're like the stop sign going, but if they maintain.
Yeah. Well, they do in Ohio. They enforce that no Jake break.
Mhm.
Anybody else?
There seems to be a lot of extra truck traffic on Milwaukee there. And Dennison Road. What is up with that? I mean, big trucks, not local grain haulers,
No,
not an occasional gravel train. I mean, and not the cement things, I get all that.
I think you see a lot of that because 23 is under construction.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that they come down Milwaukee though. That would be a.
Well, they're trying to get to Adrian, probably, I don't know. They like to get up on the Ridge Road,
Yeah. Instead of 150.
I don't know, and they don't, so many trailers now don't have a name on them.
Yeah.
And the name on the truck door at 55 or 70 or however fast they're going, who can read that? So I don't know, I just think it's a lot of extra traffic, and I just wondered, I don't know how you stop that, just like the stop sign, like he said, I don't know. But just curious,
Guess we'll have to look into that because I haven't really, well, I'm obviously a little mile away from that, so I'm not sure.
yeah, well,
We'll look into that.
well, I've seen them have to stop. Because they can't make a turn on Milwaukee up or down.
That is tight.
Yeah, it is.
especially if they don't realize it and slow down in time and then
Yeah.
get into it before they.
Anybody else?
I didn't have enough to say. No, talking about all the trucks, something that the board might want to consider is deciding like which roads and putting no through trucks signs on there. Only local deliveries, and that's something that you can talk to MCRC about. We did it over in London Township. We were able to at least cut the truck traffic down like
Yeah,
80-90%. You know, it wasn't completely gone, but it went down quite a bit. And so a lot of your back roads here, you might be able to do that, so that could be something that you can talk to the road commission about, and then, I mean, save your roads. Because some of these roads aren't made to handle.
No, they're not
that
class
way.
A roads. The only class A road out here is the Ann Arbor Road, if I'm not right. That's it.
All
Yeah.
the ready mix trucks that are hauling concrete up for
solar farm up in Winona County are using Milwaukee now too. From 6 o'clock in the morning until 5 or 6 o'clock at night. Right, that's because they're, SRM is right on the corridor, they just go straight up Milwaukee. Yep. Yeah, the truck traffic's tough, especially with local deliveries. And now here's my story on that is, you know where Smithland is, got the transit mix. And they closed, Redmond Road, no two trucks. How do I get to Clinton? Am I supposed to go all the way up to 23 to 12 and then come down? Or am I supposed to go all the way down M50 and then go all the way back up? And then all the way back over? That's ridiculous.
Well, it's not like you're hauling,
Twice as far.
yeah, it's not like you're hauling heat trucks that way either.
Right.
I mean, one or two trucks, I get it, but when you got a
But,
constant.
you know, I get it, like she says, you know, we're getting a lot of semis.
Yeah.
I see a gas truck, you know, not bulk gas truck.
Yeah, something to see very often out here.
I see them, the car haul.
Yes, color outlets, yeah.
One of the steel haulers, there calls into the stamping plant to come, so goes up Milwaukee, really ball line. I don't know, if
Yeah.
the driver or the Friday would be coming up Milwaukee instead of M50.
You know, it is, seems like you want to run down 50, it'd be easier.
Yeah, I don't know where he's coming from.
Either, it's odd. Anything else? You had something earlier, Pat, didn't you?
Monroe County did come down and clear the trees in the ditch on Far Road where it was pretty heavy. I mean, they cut stuff like that and shredded it, hauled it away. We were talking about trees and stuff.
Over by the railroad right there?
Yeah.
Railroad track crossing.
Yeah, the two houses there, right when we put the tile, that last house down, they cut all that off. So we they only did it on the roadside, not on the farmer side.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to drive around and look at that today, because I see them drive by our house, actually, with all the debris. Anybody else?
The roads are getting graded.
Yes.
Yeah, I
they
went
are.
down Mead Road the other day. Mead Road was all graded, nice.
Actually, that's a good thing you brought that up.
I didn't go all the way through, but I went
Yeah,
to the crew.
I think because we did Far Road, Cooper Road, Petersburg Road, one other road. They don't have to drop gravel on it now, Petersburg. They don't have to drop gravel on it, so they went down, I think they gravel all Mead Road. With no charge up, they just did it to take care of it, so they're
Yeah,
starting,
they did.
because they don't need all that gravel, spot graveling, they're starting to haul on the other roads, so next year we do 4 or 5 more roads. Other roads will get redone and costs will come down on us.
You did Cooper Road?
Just Cooper, the
So
hook,
you didn't do the dead end.
no, we're not fooling with that yet, that's a disaster. No, that's not gonna happen. Any other folks' comments? None, we're going. I make a motion to end the meeting at 8:57.
A second.
All in favor?
All right, we got things moving out there, Bogey.
Okay, so let's do it. It's just what they connect to.
Didn't want to mail it, we just had to mail it.
Probably.
Yeah.